the rejuvenation, if I can call it that, of Melbourne CBD. It's going to be tough. World record lockdowns set to end, as we know, on Thursday night at midnight, but many business owners fear that the stress of the past 18 months will carry on. Small Business Australia estimates it will take the city at least 3 months to get a bit of its buzz back, but the actual CBD, they fear, may never be the same. Sky News reporter Julia Bradley has more.
Melbourne is about to emerge from its 6th lockdown. Residents have spent a total of 260 days confined to their homes, which is a world record amount of time. City life has been decimated in the process. There's light at the end of the tunnel for business owners preparing to reopen on Friday, but so-called Freedom Day won't be a quick fix.
People really are crushed and trying to summon the strength to face what lies ahead.
Mallory and her husband Ronnie have been a staple of Melbourne's hospitality industry for decades. They opened their first restaurant, Cafe Destasio, in St Kilda 33 years ago and have owned Destasio Sitter Eatery on Spring Street for 2 years.
Melbourne, so vibrant, so multicultural, so multi-layered, so beautiful. And to be decimated and brought to its knees by this, offices now 6% occupancy, it really is just unthinkable.
When lockdown lifts, restaurants, cafes and bars will only be permitted to seat 20 patrons inside and 50 outside, while having to adhere to strict density limits. Mallory is also fed up with the bureaucracy of Melbourne City Council. She's been in a 2-year dispute over plans to plant a tree on the restaurant's front pavement, which Mallory says would beautify the outdoor dining experience.
We're hoping to put in 2 lovely, full-grown, shady, lush, leafy trees to provide a little bit of an aesthetic lift.
Council says new trees were planted outside Destasio in 2017. Planting new full-grown trees is an extremely expensive undertaking and would encounter significant problems with the contested environment under the footpath. There's also concern among some business owners that the council's Transport Strategy 2030 will discourage Victorians from coming into the CBD. It lays out plans to transform Melbourne into Australia's biggest bicycle city by creating more than 50 kilometres of bike lanes. The council has since commissioned a review into the plan in response to community feedback. A statement reads the findings supported the creation of bike lanes to improve safety for road users, with the review anticipating bike trips to the CBD will exceed pre-pandemic levels with safer infrastructure. Plans for a second safe injecting room opposite Flinders Station has also created a stir. Meanwhile, the retail sector is on life support. Indoor trading will only resume when 80% of the state is fully vaccinated, likely by the end of the month. Operators have been told they'll have to sell their products outdoors or rely on click and collect until then.
All our jewellery is antique and vintage, especially Art Deco. Well, we get a bit disappointed that the Lord Mayor spends most of the time talking about hospitality and opening cafes and things, which is important because it brings people to the city, but a heck of a lot of other small businesses like ourselves that need help or need encouragement to keep going.
Keith and his son James have owned the antique jewellery store in Howie Place for 12 years. The once thriving retail strip is almost completely empty.
If we were to do everything that the roadmap talks about us doing at 80% at 70, then you finish up with a very bad outcome.
Google mobility data compiled by Small Business Australia suggests it will take 3 months for human activity in the city to get back to 70% of pre-COVID levels and 6 months to get to 80%. The group believes the city may never get back to normal while people are reticent to use public transport and encouraged to work from home.
We have to remove masks in offices and we have to remove the work from home directions.
It is going to take a long time for the city to return to anything like it was pre-pandemic. And that's not something the council's going to be able to influence one iota.
But with only a day until reopening, businesses are happy to take anything they can get and are hoping for a brighter 2022. Julia Bradley, Sky News, Melbourne.